What's up, everybody?
What's up, everybody?
Welcome to a review. What?
I was gonna say, I think this is the most well-timed review that we're doing, have done.
Very timely, hot off the presses. Just came out. This poster says June 4th. What's today? The 5th? Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. It came out yesterday, but I saw it this morning.
Yeah,
I saw it last night.
Last night, yes, I did.
Right.
I did not see it in the theater, unfortunately, but whatever.
Well, I did go and see it in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It.
Yep. And just before, quick what's the word with it? It's at the beginning of books. Prologue? Quick prologue. In general, I haven't seen all of the Conjuring universe movies.
You don't really have to.
I've seen the first two Conjurings. I've seen, I think, the first Annabelle, and I've seen part of the Nun. I haven't finished it. We got distracted. But I know you've seen all of them.
Yeah.
And so it'll be interesting to see, I guess, how this fits into it. First impressions, what do you think of The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It?
I liked it for the most part more than the second one.
That's exactly how I feel. The second one is not terrible, but I do like this one more, I think.
Yeah, but I still found this one not that intense, not that scary.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I might be... I have to be careful with that opinion, because I just don't get, scared from horror. I just don't.
Yeah. There are a lot of people who are going to say, what are you talking about? That movie is terrifying. And it's because they react like normal people do.
Right.
And
whereas I'm the kind of person that would put The Exorcist on to help me fall asleep. That's who I am.
Yeah.
Yes, there's something probably wrong with me. You're over it.
Yep. Teach their own.
Yeah, I enjoyed it for the most part. There were a couple things that I was like, this feels either safe, or I felt it was trying to build up or remind people of the Satanic Panic in the 80s, which I had to shake my head and laugh kind of quietly to myself whenever they got onto the Satanist group sacrificing humans, because historically, factually, Satanist groups have not performed human sacrifices.
I knew you were going to bring up something like this. There were several times that I was watching it and I was like, okay, if you're looking at this from a realistic perspective, it's not very realistic or historical at all. But I also I get the gist that they're going for, and it does scare people and all that stuff. And
they gotta stick with what especially the second one did.
Yeah, and for that time, that makes sense.
Yeah,
it was set in the 80s-ish.
Yeah. It was kind of funny for me being someone who's more on the skeptic side of things, watching it and knowing how much Ed and Lorraine Warren, the actual Ed and Lorraine Warren, how much they've been discredited over the years through all their stuff. So it's funny for me to watch it and think to myself of all the stuff that's been completely discredited and disregarded. No, full of shit.
It'd be a lot cooler if this is what happened.
Right.
Yeah.
But luckily, I still enjoy it. I like the Conjuring universe, except for the Nun. That movie sucked.
That's fair.
The third one, I enjoyed it. I was really curious. I meant to, and then just didn't get around to it. I want to look up what their filming schedule was.
Yeah.
To see if they still had to do maybe reshoots or do some filming in 2020. And see because I also found myself wondering, with all these movies that are coming out, a lot of them were the ones that were postponed, which means they were filmed in 2018, 2019.
they were fully done or mostly done.
Yeah.
And just got pushed.
But eventually we're going to get some of the movies that were filmed during quarantine time. So I'm waiting to start seeing the scenes where, like, people are socially distanced or, you know, I'm curious to see when that's going to start popping up. And there were a couple scenes in this that I was like, well, everyone is precariously spread out.
Yeah.
I wonder if this was that, or if that was just how they planned the shot. But
yeah, that's interesting. I didn't think about it so much from the distancing part, but I did notice a few scenes that seemed a little bit more just like kind of like green screened, maybe done a little quicker, and so maybe they were just maybe those scenes were slapped together to get it finished or something, or I don't know.
Yeah, me neither. But I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was. There were some very interesting choices made in it. I think my favorite part was actually the beginning of the movie with the kid in the bathtub. I thought that sequence was cool as shit.
Yeah.
It gets a little wonky as the movie goes on. It got a little like, what? But
yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. Overall, I liked it. I thought it was fun. I think it was predictable to some extent. There were several times where I either said out loud the exact line someone was about to say before they said it, because I was watching it at home. That's the thing about watching movies for a year at home and not going to the theater. You kind of lose your movie theater etiquette where you don't talk during movies. So now I talk during movies all the time at home. But yeah, I would say that, or I would say, oh, that means that this is going to happen now, and it did immediately happen. And so there were some predictable parts. I wasn't that annoyed by it. I was having fun. I thought it was a fun movie.
Yeah, I thought it was. I kind of was like, I had a quick moment, and I hope other people know this little tidbit. So there's a shot it's actually the beginning of the movie when the priest shows up to do the exorcism of the little boy.
Yeah.
So, quick little history recap or whatever, history recap.
Yeah.
The Exorcist, the original story that the book and movie are based on, was actually a little boy who was possessed apparently by either some demon or the devil itself. So when they showed the priest show up to the house, it's the exact same shot as the famous shot from The Exorcist.
Yeah. I'm so glad you brought this up, because I was going to ask you about it.
Yes.
I knew you would know that. And so
immediately. Like, as soon as the cab pulled up and he got out wearing the hat, I was like, is this supposed to be the little boy? Because that happened in like the 70s. Yeah. Not the 80s.
I didn't know the original story, and that the original story was about a little boy. I only knew the movie. And so I was like, this shot is The Exorcist. It's literally The Exorcist. But then I was like, but this is a boy and the movie is about a girl. So, because I was like, oh, does that mean this is, no, it can't be this.
Right.
This.
So it's just due to the timing of this movie and this particular story, it is not the story of the boy that The Exorcist was based on, but turned into a girl. It is not.
I assumed it was like a homage or a nice acknowledgement of that.
I love that shot.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's so good.
It
stands out,
and it immediately, and it had the same effect in this movie as it does in The Exorcist, where that shot alone, and you're like, oh, shit's gonna go down.
Yeah, like immediately filled with dread.
Yeah, you're just, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the little boy, like, in the bathtub, I thought I'll try not to say too much, but the little boy in the bathtub was really cool. I like that kind of stuff.
Christy loved that shot a lot. It freaked her out. She's like, oh shit, no, I don't like that. I don't like that. It's crazy. But she also liked it.
Now, I'm also one, and this is probably the most entertaining fucked in the head kind of thing about me and horror movies.
Yeah.
One, I love kids in horror films because they just add so much to it. Because you can scare the crap out of a kid so easily, and get such a great reaction and response from them. Same, but on that same note, the parents that sign their kids off to be in these style of movies, you're bad parents. You're bad fucking parents.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Haley Joel Osment is probably the perfect example of that. Absolutely scared shitless during Sixth Sense.
Linda Blair in The Exorcist. I think she's still in therapy just because of all of that.
Yeah.
Which, if you've seen it, you get it.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Now, I enjoyed it for the most part. I think the biggest problem, and it started with the second one, and it's continued in this one, and they did it in The Nun. They did it in kind of in the third Annabelle.
Okay.
And The Curse of La Llorona, or Rana. I can't pronounce it correctly. Yeah. I'm sorry.
I know what you're talking about.
They try to get too invested in, like, this is going to sound bad. Don't add us.
Or do.
Or do. They get too invested in trying to be, like, Christian superhero adventure kind of style, where they find the artifact, and they have to find the origin of the artifact, and they have to, like, seek out where it is. Just let the story be. There's nothing wrong with just letting the story be. You don't need all that. You just don't. So I think that's what kind of knocks it down a couple pegs, is just because they did it again, and I was really hoping they weren't going to do it. I enjoyed it for the most part.
Yeah, I thought it was definitely fun.
Yeah,
and I liked it more than the second one, so it'll be interesting to see, I guess, where they go from here.
I did enjoy it a lot more than the second one. That second one has some great moments, and then it just gets, like, bonkers, and not in a good way.
Yeah, it gets kind of weird, for sure.
With our rating system.
Yep.
What would you give it, Jake, from 6 to midnight?
I'm in like the 330 range.
6 to midnight?
Yeah, so kind of just like up here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not full blown.
Right.
Not full flaccid, just kind of.
You're like
in this range.
Okay.
What about you?
I would agree. I'm. It's like a kind of a midpoint.
Yeah.
It's like a. It's like one of those where you're. Well, I could. I'll leave it.
That's good. That's a good way to describe it. Oh, jeez. I'm going to enjoy this rating system, I could tell already.
I think we've already made it so much better by doing our hand gestures.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh,
I will say again, though, you should see it in the theater.
Yep.
There are some scenes in this movie that you can tell will work. They'll look better. They'll work better for the scare on that big screen in the big dark room. It just will.
I would really like to see that Exorcist shot on the screen, because I didn't get to in the original, obviously.
Oh, I mean, there was a good number of people in the theater with me, and I don't know if they all got the shot, but I was definitely in my seat being like, "The Exorcist!" Like,
yeah. That's awesome.
So, all right, go check it out. Let us know what you thought of Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It.
Yeah, comment on this video, or come find us on his Facebook and Instagram at Movie Boners, and we'll talk to you about it.
Yeah.
All right, thanks everybody. See ya.
Thank you.